Player 2, this is Player 1. Plugging in.
Player 1 is initiating connection. Player 1 is online.
Player 1, this is Player 2. Plugging in.
Player 2 is initiating connection. Player 2 is online. All players have successfully connected. You are now plugged into the Plug and Play podcast. Initiating startup sequence.
Hey guys, and thank you for tuning in. This is episode 234 of the Plug and Play podcast. I'm your host, Zach, and across the deal at this brewery, tap room. I always get this mixed up. Tap room.
Tap room. They don't actually have their own beer.
It's very true.
We're at the Tap Union Freehouse.
That's the place. In Vancouver, Washington.
Yes. It's across from an old church, and it's got a
It's actually its own monastery.
Nice. Even better.
Both monks.
And we are enjoying one of the beers they have on tap. This segment we will talk about the Octagon, which is a beer from Grains of Wrath in Camas, Washington. It's an Imperial double IPA. I'm trying to look more about it, sorry. It's definitely hoppy. Very dank.
Nice.
It has an 8.8 ABV, and I don't know what the IBUs are. This is their winter season double IPA. It's the first one, yeah. That's all I really have about it. It's good. It's really good. It's
Cheers. Cheers-worthy.
Mm-hmm. Cheers. Oh, by the way, welcome, minions.
Yes, I am Zach, and alongside me, as always, is Tim. Tim, what have you been up to this week, other than shooting fools in the face?
Like I do. Well, I came over and saw John Wick with you.
You did.
And
Too.
John Wick 2, and I want to hear your impressions about that. But the part I'm going to talk about is setting it up at your place, because that was a pain in the ass.
Setting it up was a pain in the ass for some fucking reason.
So I rented it on Vudu, which is like, I think it's Walmart's streaming service.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of ultraviolet movie codes at one point, which is Sony's digital system, and then Sony decided to close it down, so I had like only a few options to choose where to transfer it to, and Vudu was one of the options. I figured Walmart would probably be around for a while, so I went with them. Anyway, this isn't actually in my collection. This is a rental, because that's where I found the best way to get John Wick 2. And so I went to Zach's house, and he has a smart TV, so you can pull up the Vudu app, no problem. He doesn't have an account, so I just put in my information, hit enter, and wrong in login info. And I checked and double checked. I typed it like 5 times. And it would not accept it. And I don't know why that is, other than maybe I put in the... to rent the movie, I paid for it at home on my laptop, so I was logged into Vudu on my laptop, because I just wanted to have it ready to go when I went over to your house. I didn't want to,
have to fuck around with
everything, yeah. But it would not let me go in. It said incorrect information, and I was doing the right information. So we did this, 5-10 minutes. I'm getting really frustrated with it.
So it was like 10 minutes. I ate a whole bowl of popcorn.
Right. So I deleted the Vudu app on your smart TV and started all over from scratch, and then it worked just fine first time.
Yep.
So whatever. It could be a little more user friendly. We'll talk more about John Wick 2 a little later. This weekend was the weekend we got to remember Terrence, the buddy we talked about several episodes ago.
Yeah.
His celebration of life was again at Cascada Brewing, which we've been at several times now.
Yep.
And we got there a little late because of my work schedule. And he just wanted to hang back, be there same time as me.
Yep.
But we got to see a little memorial for him.
That was cool.
Someone made a word picture of things that are important to him, like hockey and just a bunch of
weird questions.
Yes, which I got explained.
Yes.
His kind of adoptive daughter, he would ask her weird questions after school.
Yeah.
And she kind of liked that, actually. So it was really cool to see different people in his life. A lot of hockey fans there.
Lots of hockey fans.
Lots of Seattle and Portland hockey fans. And watching them kind of skirt around each other was hilarious.
Yeah, they're like, we're
we're
here for the same person, but I don't want to talk to you.
Temporary ceasefire?
Yeah.
This is like a neutral ground?
This is like Yeah, this is like This is like the hotel in John Wick 2.
Exactly. Very good reference.
See? Ah, yes, I can do this too.
So that was good. It was a strange experience to have like a wake or a remembrance in a brewery. I mean, people would be laughing at a story.
Thing was, the two women that we were talking to upstairs, I didn't realize that they knew Terrence.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like...
I was just like, oh, these must be Tim's friends also. And I mean, they are, but it was just like...
I mean, that's why I was hanging with them.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you knew who... They didn't know... Are they like Festivus know Terrence? Or are they like, they knew him more than I did?
One was a Festivus / Twitter friend,
Okay.
and the other, Megan...
Yeah.
Another Megan, not the Megan we talked about, used to go to the church we go to.
Okay.
So, I was commenting, like, speaking of all these different people, like, different realms, you know, Twitter, hockey. It's really a shame that there's not, like, sometimes you do this for a birthday, or you get to see all the different people in your life, different areas in one spot.
But none of this happens until you die. And then you don't get to be there for it.
Right. I just think that's odd. So
Sad.
It kind of makes me want to plan like a big 60th birthday party or something, just so I get the experience of having all these disparate people from different areas of my life together just once while I'm there to experience it.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, you'll still be there. I'll be like, when you die, I'm gonna cut off your head, boil your scalp, and like peel it off.
And you have to put a robot inside my jaw and like an AI
That's
that'll talk.
my hand. Hi, my name's Tim.
I don't talk like that.
Shut up. That's what the new Tim talks like.
Okay, I'm gonna have to have very specific instructions for my remains. Apparently, like
no,
we're gonna go
we've already signed all this paperwork.
No, I'm gonna go straight to being burnt, crispy Tim.
No, crispy like in like Kentucky Fried Crispy Chicken Tim.
No, beyond that, we're gonna be like Marvel Dust Tim. So, moving on.
But that is very true though. That'd be a good reason to throw a big party. To have like everybody there at once, because it's kind of sad. Because I don't think, I mean, I could be wrong.
I feel like
I highly doubt that he ever had all these people together all at once.
I don't think so. Yeah. I really don't. And I think
that's sad.
I think like a 50th or 60th party is the only way you could really get away with doing that.
I think 50th, because at 60, like what really? I mean, maybe you're still gonna be out there partying and stuff, but like 50, like you could still like throw back a couple beers, like hardcore, and like do some other stuff. It's
not that far from me, bro. It's really not that far.
I know. That's the reason why I'm saying this stuff, Tim.
All right,
for me it is.
I got a couple years to plan that.
I got another like 20 something.
Well, for you it'd be 40, I think.
40 for me would be great. Yeah.
And that's actually a birthday that a lot of people celebrate big.
We celebrated 50 for our family, but a lot of us didn't make it to our 60, so.
Yeah, well, I didn't think I'd make it to 40, so here we are.
Yep.
All right. Last week I talked about the journalist who was looking into Anthem and BioWare. I bought his book, and I've read the first...
Oh, yeah. What was his name again? It wasn't Arthur, was
Jason Schreier, I believe. Schreier, sorry. I always mispronounce the name.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I've been reading his book, just like a couple chapters in. And
you sent me the photo of it. It looked pretty decent from the one page you sent me. It seemed very...
It's very interesting so far. Like, the first kind of like story in the book that I've been reading is one of the big first crowdfunded campaigns. Not the very first, but one of the first.
You talking about the spaceship one?
Are you talking about like a...
the one that's still not out yet?
Oh, God, no.
Oh.
I'm talking about successful.
Oh. Oh, it's successfully back.
I guess, but we don't have a game. So, Obsidian Entertainment, who made Fallout Vegas and many other games, they almost lost their company because Microsoft had commissioned a game for them, Stormbringers or something, and then canceled it.
Oh.
And they had to let go a whole bunch of people, and they were like, well, shit, what do we do now? So, Double Fine had just successfully kickstarted their game that I'm drawing a blank on right now. It's an adventure game. But they were looking at that and said, hey, maybe we could, instead of worrying about coming up with outside investor money, try this Kickstarter thing. And at first, the leadership was really like
hesitant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they did decide to do like a Dungeons and Dragons style game, but with their own like spin on it because they weren't going to use those rule sets because those are trademarked.
Yeah.
And so they did crowdfunding for Pillars of Eternity, and they were looking for like $1 million. And the guy who like pitched the whole Kickstarter thing to the company was like hoping for $2 million. Yeah, they got like over 4.
Wow.
And they made the game, and it was a success story. So I think the author is starting with a success story because it's going to not always be successful. The next chapter is Uncharted 4, and I'm interested to hear about that.
Are you talking about the PlayStation 4 game that like froze up on stage, and people were like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I mean, it wasn't the worst
It wasn't the worst E3 demo,
but there were some problems along the way for sure. So
I'm interested to hear about that. I might have to pick this book up and start reading again someday.
So far, it's good, and it's really easy to read, and yeah, it's great. I do recommend it if you're interested in the games business.
Yeah.
It's very readable and it's interesting, and
you know what?
That's Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. Just in case you missed the title.
So the one thing I will chip in is you should check out. There's a crowdfunded video game, almost like historical society called No Clip.
Okay.
It's done by Danny O'Dwyer, who was from GameSpot. I believe he was part of Giant Bomb.
So they're like into video game preservation, or
no? So he is going in and interviewing the people that were in the like main phase of different parts of the video game industry, and like getting backstories from like game developers about the video game production and stuff like that. So this is a video journalistic preservation. And also, he has a podcast he drops, and the Jeff Gersman story just dropped. So
nice.
It's all about Jeff, like when he was like 14, 13, literally going to E3 with this like junior in high school. That these two dumb fucks just knew how to write about video games, knew how to play. One of them was smart enough to get accepted into E3, and needed Jeff to go with him. So he went there, and that's where he met Ryan, that he started Giant Bomb with.
That's
and it was
cool.
just like his whole entire story, like this is the type of shit that I dealt with. This is what happened. It's not this person's fault. And like he even goes through like the fallout between him and GameSpot.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like how he didn't want to talk down to people at GameSpot because like his friends were still there and stuff, but people like on social media back then were like attacking them and like sending them hate mail and stuff.
Yeah.
And Jeff was like, this is not my doing. Stop doing it because these are my friends. This is their livelihoods. Yeah, I'm screwed right now, but and so like Jeff gets really personal like on like things like that have happened in his life and the other people that he's cared about throughout the industry. So it's pretty interesting.
That does sound
so I would
interesting.
check it out. It's called No Clip. It's a podcast. Is where I heard it. But they also do. It's all Kickstarted. So he started, and he's like traveled the world off this Kickstarter, just interviewing these people that have like made like Doom and stuff like that.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, that would be interesting to me.
That's right up your alley with this book.
The other thing I did this week is I want to try out other places around Portland. There's actually a lot of places in Portland that do ramen.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
No, there's not.
There's about 20.
Fuck off. No, fuck off.
I know that you have your favorite.
No, it's the only one I've been to, so actually I should try more.
Well, I can be your guinea pig. So I went to a place called Shoko Sushi. It's off of I'm drawing a blank now. It's in the southeast Portland.
Okay.
And it has a fairly unassuming front, except it has a nice little patio with like wooden tables and stuff.
Like you can sit out there and eat?
You could, not in the weather now, but so I went during lunchtime, and I didn't know this, but I'm kind of glad that I went during lunchtime because they have an $8.95 special bowl of ramen and a sushi roll for $9.
Is it like decent ramen? Like ramen that you choose, or is it just like, hey, this is our house ramen, here you go?
No, there was 4 choices. Okay. They didn't have the one. Nope, that was the one that was not listed. Yeah, that's the one I would have chosen.
The most fucking famous one.
But again, that was good because it made me choose something different.
So what did you choose?
I chose chashu ramen, which is it's a pork based.
That's kind of what we guess the one we get the beef, huh?
No, I think shoyu, and I could be wrong.
Is it chicken?
I think it's chicken and pork.
Okay, so chicken and pork. So so how was the just strictly pork based
one?
So
it was kind of sweet. It definitely had the pork, like very strong pork flavor, compared to shoyu. It was sweet and oddly creamy in taste or texture. I'm not sure.
Did they put a cream in it?
Maybe.
Was it creamy colored?
It was.
Or no?
It was cloudy, so possibly.
Yeah, they might have dropped some half and half or something.
Maybe I really don't know, but it had a creamy texture flavor to it. The noodles were good. There was some pork belly and egg in there just already. For $9, I got a steal. I got some spicy salmon rolls on the side.
Did you get pick what type of rolls too?
Yeah, there was like only 4 choices, like California rolls, spicy salmon roll. Can't remember what the other 2 choices were.
Nice. Okay.
But hell of a meal for $9.
Yeah.
So I was very happy with that.
No tax either.
Nope. So yeah, that was fun. I kind of did that by myself though. So what have you been up to this week?
Well, apparently everybody's texting me now saying that they're getting in this email, and what do they do? So I've just responded to the 4 people. Fill the fucker out. So.
Okay, you can't talk about stuff that you can't talk about.
Yep, exactly. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's what I've been doing this week. Besides that, I watched John Wick 2 with you.
So, what did you think of the movie?
I really liked it.
So you liked the first one, right?
Yeah, I did.
This one gets more into like the mythology of the assassins and everything around it.
It does.
They introduced the marker, which is cool.
They introduced a marker. I really feel like I'm really disappointed that they don't have like a pre-John Wick, like a backstory movie on him.
What if there was comics?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd read it. Are there comics or like his backstory?
I believe John Wick is based on a comic, so I'm not 100% sure on the answer to that.
Okay. I mean, I would check it out if there was a comic. That'd be awesome because I really just feel like this would be a hell of a lot better movie if they would have started it like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and started like when he got in and like.
See, I like the fact that he starts as like this kind of homebody in granted a really nice house with a wife and a dog, and like you don't know his history.
Okay, let's do the fucking Star Wars effect then.
What's the Star Wars effect?
Let's do the fucking,
prequels.
Yeah, let's do the fucking prequels then.
The shitty thing is it probably would not be John Wick John Wick.
It would be Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
It'd have to be someone else.
Yeah. Which is shitty because nobody can do him. So.
I don't. Yeah.
It'd be very difficult. You would have to specifically drop probably close to $1 million on training to get somebody to do him.
I mean, there's probably some kid out there who's really good at martial arts and guncraft, but
yeah,
but
I don't
can
know.
he act?
I do really like the movies, and I'm extremely excited to go see the third one. So
which is coming out pretty soon. So
it is. So we watched John Wick 2 with you, my wife and I, and my wife loved it. So
Sweet.
she's all down to go see John Wick 3.
Nice.
So this is like her type of fucking movie.
Perfect.
And other than that, the next day we had my cousin over and his girlfriend, Catherine, and then we had Tony over as well. We had a couple of beers and played some Jackbox, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And I opened up a Patreon account for Podcast Junkie, which has been doing fairly well. I'm up to like $40 a month right now.
Sweet.
The nice thing about this is that I'm not taking any of the cash and keeping it for myself. So actually, I made myself did I have the Excel spreadsheet when you were over last time?
You talked about it, but I didn't see it.
Okay, so I have an Excel spreadsheet that I put in like every single time I get money, and then I'm spending the money either giving it to other people that are doing like indie podcasts, or I'm buying them microphones, or I'm buying shirts of theirs to give them a profit and to give the shirts away. Which leads me to my next thing, which I guess technically I should go over like you can. If you go to podcast or patreon.com/podcast junkie, you can get in as cheap as $1 a month, and it goes up from there. There's gonna be new levels coming out. I started this cool thing, so I emailed a bunch of indie podcasts, like super indie podcasts, and I was like, hey, I want to do this Patreon level, this like $10 to $15, about 3 to 4 times a year. I'm going to write a letter, and just like this is what your funds have gone to.
Nice.
And like this is, we've raised this much money. I spent this much money on this. This person got a microphone. This person got, we paid for their hosting for a year. Stuff like that. So like almost kind of like a corporate letter of like the
shareholders letter.
Yeah, like a shareholders letter. Is there something that you could contribute to add to this letter? So I've been getting this outpouring of indie podcast stickers being sent to me, and then I even met with one of them before Terrence's Remembrance.
Oh, so you would send a physical letter to your patron?
Physical,
with a bunch of
stickers.
stickers.
And so it's going to come with, like, right now we're up to, like, I think every single one of them. And I think what I'm going to have to do is, because I have more coming in. This is the first week. Some people haven't even sent their stuff out yet. I've already got, like, 6 podcasts.
Well, you said you want to do this, like, in a year, right?
What?
How often are you going to send this letter?
About 3 to 4 times a year.
Okay.
So about every quarter, probably. And right now I've already got, like, probably about 4 to 6 different podcast stickers at my house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually break the Patreon levels apart and then mark them like group A, B, and C, D. And then I'm going to group the stickers in A, B, C, and D. And then I'm going to shuffle it all together. So some months, everybody will get the same letter, but everybody will get different stickers.
That's cool.
So that they're not always the same. And then they have a year's worth of stickers that get rotated through. And then, of course, obviously, if somebody randomly, like, new podcast jumps up and wants to give me a sticker or something like that, I'll toss that into everybody's and then get them onto a schedule. So that's pretty cool. And so that's going to become a Patreon level for, like, $10 a month, I think. It's not up yet. Obviously, there's going to be some merch level discounts and stuff like that. But that brings me into my next thing about merch is we're doing a t-shirt giveaway I have a line of t-shirts. It's a t-shirt, sweatshirt, or hoodie, I should say, and a coffee cup, and it's called Support Indie Podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of them have at least a $4 profit on it to me. And with that profit, I'm putting into a special account that is specifically for just giving to other people.
That's cool.
So, right now, I think my like for Podcast Junkie alone, which Plug and Play is about the same exact price, if not a little bit more. I think we're at I can pull it up really quick.
What do you mean exact price?
Like monthly pricing, like how much it costs me to do it.
Oh, okay.
Or costs us to do Podcast Junkie, or Plug and Play. I mean, for Podcast Junkie, it has costed me $18.99 this month. So that's including this giveaway because I had to pay for a giveaway platform that actually was designated. So normally it's $9.99. So that's roughly what Plug and Play costs minus the domain names that we have, which you and I talked about. We're going to drop some of them.
Dump.
Yep. So that will significantly cut our cost back because we're closer to $20 to $30 a month.
Yeah, we need to trim.
Yeah. The Podcast Junkie right now is about $9.99 a month, and even after I paid for the giveaway, I'm still at positive $31.09 for the month. So
you can look at some direct support, like you're
direct
talking,
support of
like a
trying to help
microphone
somebody else out or buying the shirt, and that's where this comes in. Is I'm going to be doing a giveaway of a T-shirt at the end of April, so April 30th. We're doing a giveaway, and there's a ton of ways you can do entries. You can do an entry every day off of Twitter. And basically, if you guys want to find out more details, just go to Twitter @CastJunkie, and there's like a tagged post or something like that. Or go over to givelab.com. That's GIVELAB.com /Podcast Junkie, I think.
I think your Twitter will probably be...
Twitter's the easiest one.
So it'll direct you to there, too.
Yeah, it'll direct you strictly there. And, yeah, we're just giving away a T-shirt, and it's kind of a cool design, and a lot of people have bought it. So I got one coming. Should be here next week sometime.
Nice.
So, yeah. That's what I've been up to this week.
Cool.
A lot of podcast shit, besides things I can't talk about, apparently.
Well, that was your decision.
Yeah, exactly. So, what are you doing?
Nothing. So, I guess that brings us to... News.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about news.
Talk about what type of news?
Let's talk about difficulty in games.
Okay.
So, Sekiro is this game that came out pretty recently from, I think it's From Software, I think. The people who did, like, Dark Souls and those hard-ass games.
Yeah.
So, one of the reviewers for PC Gamer beat the final boss with cheats because these bosses, like, throughout the game take, like, 4 hours to learn.
Did you say the developer beat it with cheats?
No. The reviewer, for
beat
PC Gamer beat it with cheats and doesn't feel bad about it because they're just ridiculously hard. Like, and he wanted to get the review done. And so this this tweet went viral from Fetusberry, who's that's his Twitter handle, Fetusberry. You cheated not only the game but yourself. You didn't grow. You didn't improve. You took a shortcut and gained nothing. You experienced a hollow victory. Nothing was risked and nothing was gained. It's sad that you don't know the difference. So this went viral. Like, people were making videos of, like...
Oh, my God.
Like, there's, like, common cheats in games. Like,
yeah.
And so, like, they were having the video game character... Like, they would play a video of that and, like, the character cheating. And then, like, character in the game would say, like, that tweet to them. And they're, like, really funny. There's some Mario ones. There's a whole bunch of them.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it just went really big. But I wanted to kind of take a sideways... Like, maybe have a little conversation about difficulty in games.
Okay.
So, I know you've used cheat engines in the past, and I personally don't necessarily cheat, but I will drop the difficulty if I want to get through a game, because I get, on a good week, 2 to 4 hours to game.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to play a Souls game because I don't have the time to. I don't have the time to.
Cheat engine.
I don't think even then, because that's sort of the point of the game.
Yeah.
So
it would defeat the purpose of that game.
But people are saying, hey, maybe you should put an easier level in it, and that's like sparked a big debate. Like,
I don't think you should. Not if the point of the game is to be fucking hard. That's just tough shit.
Yeah, but what's wrong with making it more accessible?
Why?
I'm not saying the developer has to, but does it really harm the experience of the people that play the original version?
It diminishes the effect the developer wants on the game to have on you.
Okay. I, in general, am in, like...
I mean, I fully get having easier levels.
Nintendo is, like, really embracing the easy thing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, there's modes in Mario where you basically...
Well, in Red Dead Redemption, if you fail a mission 4 times, it gives you an option to skip to the next cutscene after the mission is over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, like, really fucking tricky, because I think it's, like, that X button or something. So it's like a button you're mashing on to get through the fucking dialogue. And then it's all of a sudden like, you just failed. You wanna skip this? And, God damn it! But luckily, I never did that. But a lot of games are taking that way out nowadays. Easier ways.
I appreciate the option. I typically play on normal, but there has been times when I've dipped to easy to get through some things.
I appreciate the options.
I would say
in
it's
some
probably
areas.
10 to 20% for me.
I appreciate the options in some areas. I don't think I have dipped the difficulty in. There's a game just recently I was playing. It wasn't Red Dead Redemption. It was something else. It's right before Red Dead Redemption. I can't remember. Anyways, I did dip it down to the next level below. It was the fucking Switch game that I bought you, Diablo 3.
Yeah.
I had it on the very hardest one, and I couldn't do it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I dipped it down to the next one below.
But you were going from the top of the scale,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's not like going from normal to easy.
Well, I get that, but they still obviously have that built into the game. So even if you were at like the next one up, it's gonna drop you down to easy. But for games like Souls, I don't think that they need to.
I just got a code for Feather.
Oh, I was like,
So I will be putting up a YouTube quick look or review of Feather for Switch soon.
Sweet. I just feel like games like Dark Souls that are built to be
Speaking
hard.
of easy games, like you can't die. You cannot die in this game. You just fly around literally.
Literally just get stoned and fly around like a feather.
I can't wait.
So I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Okay.
I do feel like there should be like the basketball games and shit like that. Like there's so many of us that just want to use cheat engine just to get through the fucking like main story. Like we don't give a shit. Like we just want to have the best outcome at the end of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like they should just have that built in. There's enough of us that fucking cheat the engine this shit. Like that should just be built in.
Okay.
It used to be built in.
All right.
It used to be built in like on like the NBA Jam. It was always built in. Like, do you want to not miss a shot? Yes. Okay. Like you'd be at the fucking other opponent's court and you'd still make the fucking shot. Like they don't give a shit. So I don't know. That's my opinion. You want to talk about black holes?
Talk about Satan's anus. All right. So we finally have a picture of a black hole. The Event Horizon Telescope captures
No kidding.
one of the most powerful, confounding, and fascinating objects in existence.
Did it go into the hole?
No. It's a telescope took a picture. So it's a fuzzy picture.
It's a really fuzzy fucking picture.
So it must be really far away.
So what the hell's all the red shit around it? Is that like fire?
That's like light being sucked into this hole that literally sucks anything into it. Like it's like the.
We're next.
I mean, if you got close enough to it, it's 50 million light years away. It's a black hole in the center of the Messier 87 galaxy. That's what the word looks like. It might be Messier.
So the funny thing about this is, like, if it's sucking everything in, it's sucking us closer.
Maybe it's a gravity well, but like all these galaxies have their own.
So how do you create a black hole? Could our sun turn into a black hole?
It's God. I don't want to get into quantum. I don't know, astrophysics. Let's just move on. It's cool that we got a picture of a black hole.
Welcome to the new Astrophysics podcast from Plug and Play Productions. Hey, Tim. So, can our sun turn into a black hole?
No.
Damn it.
Let's talk about PSN usernames.
Okay,
You can
fine.
finally change them, but you probably
What? No way.
shouldn't.
Wait, so I'm still stuck with like some shitty like D4RK333GNED.
Yeah, so they'll let people change your name once for free, and then it's $10 after that.
Oh Jesus. Oh right, but wait.
But
some
if you're
games,
a Plus subscriber, it's only $4.99.
but some games, it doesn't matter, right?
So for PS4 games released on or after April 1st, 2018,
That's right.
everything should work fine. But after that, they're not guaranteeing it. They have a list of games that will have no issues. So like
Call of Duty and shit.
Bloodborne, Grand Theft Auto. Oh wait,
All the big names.
no. These are games that have issues. Bloodborne, Grand Theft Auto 5, Warframe, Uncharted 4 have issues, among others. So that could mean you lose like your saves, your cloud saves. You could lose your trophies.
It's because they're hitting outside servers.
So it gets even worse when you're talking about PS3 or Vita games. And I don't play PS3 that much anymore,
But
but
Vita, you do.
I do. And if I was to lose my saves, I'd be pissed. So I guess I'll just keep being butt 6 or 69 on PlayStation for now. I'm curious to see.
I wondered who the fuck that was on my on my
It's like,
PlayStation.
who's this guy that keeps asking to be my friend? I don't want to be your friend.
What's like 6 or 69? What the fuck? I ain't doing this.
I mean, I would love to change. I would like to have my universal gamer tag that I have on Microsoft and Steam on that,
Everywhere else.
but it's
Did
not.
you create an account just to steal that username?
No,
You probably should.
I don't. If I do that, then I don't know if I can change my name to it
You'd have to. Oh yeah.
because I have account. My account has a ton of. I have so many games on
know.
PlayStation, like over 400. Zach,
I know.
I can't. I don't want to mess with my account. Well, speaking of accounts and online,
Tech?
let's talk some tech.
Okay, what's that?
All right, I hate my lawnmower.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I've been dealing with my lawnmower now for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It worked fine last season. It's an older lawnmower.
It's a nice lawnmower though.
It's got a decent engine on it. So I did the same thing as the last season. What worked last time you told me was to fill up the oil again.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything. I got a brand new spark plug. Guess what?
Didn't do
It
anything.
didn't do anything. I like put blisters on my hands trying to start it.
Yeah,
You see
I'm
that?
sorry about
On
that.
my
Yeah,
finger?
yeah, sorry about that. You want me to kiss a boo boo?
No, kiss my boo boo. So I gave up.
So,
I
did
gave
you
it.
find somebody?
I gave it to a guy to fix, and I probably will get it back tomorrow. And
How much?
80.
What did he say was wrong with it?
He doesn't know yet. That's his fee. He's gonna just clean it all up. I'm sure he'll. Yeah, I don't know what he does. I don't care what he does. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes my lawnmower to be happy. Became well recommended, so I think he'll fix it for me. But
Nice.
yeah, it's a tool that I depend on to keep my lawn trimmed,
Yeah.
and my lawn is now like way
We
overgrown.
need to do your front lawn.
I need to do something with my front lawn.
So I think
We
we
cut
should
down
probably
a-
get AstroTurf. Or not AstroTurf, but just turf.
Could we do part of it that way, or all of it?
No, we have to do all of it.
Damn it.
It's
Okay.
very expensive is the problem.
That's why I don't want to do it that way.
But we're like right at the season right now, like where we either need to get the son of a bitch seeded or not.
Well, I would have to do something where the tree was, because nothing's growing on that. I'd have to put some kind of dirt over
We
it.
would need to dig the fuck out of it and put some dirt over it.
Yeah. Well, so my lawn sucks. And
Welcome to my last house. It's a real bitch.
God, like last year, I swear this podcast was just you, like, dealing with your lawn. I don't want to live
It was
that
2
way.
years ago.
2 years ago? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So anyway, that's our stupid tech talk. Sorry, I
Alright.
don't have anything better for you. Some cool device, but I do have a lawnmower that doesn't work, so I'm going to talk about it.
All right, cool. We'll be right back after this music break, guys. And we are back. Teacher Treats in hand. Second half brought to us by Steelhead Brewing Company.
No, it's not. It's by
It's out of
Pelican.
Eugene, Oregon.
That's literally you're reading a beer glass.
Yep.
It's not what you're drinking.
I forgot what I'm drinking.
You're drinking the Pelican IPA that you can't remember the name of.
Exactly.
Okay, well,
Not very good. Try it.
no. You tell me it's not that good, I'm going to believe you.
It's not that great.
Well, I like mine.
It tastes like a session, but it's not supposed to be a session.
That's unfortunate.
Yep. So.
You know where we're going next? They have Fort George Vortex on tap at happy hour for $4.
I'm gonna have to get 2 of those. All right, Tim. You ready to kick it?
Let's kick it.
All right. I'm gonna kick it first. Pot cable.
So we've featured something kind of like this. This is a different form factor, though. I like this one.
So this is a 3-in-1 charging cable, which we have. I think the other one was like inside of a tube or something, right?
It was really compact, and I was worried it would break. This is a bit bigger. It's got a nice loop on one end to like clip it to your bag or whatever if you want to. And then
I didn't check. Do we have video on this or audio
Nope.
on this?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So this is a multi-charging device. Has 3 devices at fast speed simultaneously, so you can do USB-C, micro USB, and Lightning. Out of LA. They are looking for $5,000 US. Currently, they're 9,392, 380 backers, 16 days to go. And I'm sorry if I paused for a second. I have other things going on in my life right now.
so
Pi cable?
or pickable.
Pickable?
Probably a pi cable. I don't know.
Probably. It's easy removable, easy to remove, ultra portable, no error messages, and no messy cables.
So I wanted to point one thing out to you. The backing level. 1 is 12. 2 is 18.
I might need one of these.
They look kind of cool.
They do.
And also, they're supposedly shipping in June. So
Be perfect time for packs.
yeah.
I mean, maybe we should just do that. You should probably back it for 2.
Okay.
And I'll just give you $9. Anyways, like Tim said, guys, single pack $12, dual pack is 18. Granddad them all is 45, and it's a 5-pack. And like Tim said, they're hoping to ship in June. So yeah, go get your Pi cable or pickable.
All right. So I heard about this next Kickstarter from my press account. They emailed me about it. It is a streaming service. Everybody's getting into it now. Microsoft is about to launch theirs at E3. We talked about Stadia a couple weeks ago. This is Antstream, Retro Gaming Reborn. So it's a streaming service for retro gaming. Think Neo Geo, Atari, NES. Although I wonder if it'd only be third-party NES. Those era games, like 8-bit, 16-bit. And they have quite a few titles. They're going to be running on PC, Mac, Xbox One, and mobile devices.
Okay.
They've got a lot to say. It's about 4 minutes long. If it's hopefully interesting to you, otherwise go grab another beer, and we'll be right back.
Do you remember when gaming was colourful, fun, and filled with exploding barrels? It's time to let the good times roll again. We're making retro gaming simple, easy, and accessible. Our app gives you access to hundreds of the best retro games, which you can stream to play on demand. And that library will grow rapidly into thousands. You can play on console, on PC, on tablet, on set-top box. Cross-play, pick up and play. Compete in challenges, climb leaderboards, join a community. It's the ultimate in retro gaming without any fiddly emulators, micro consoles, downloads, or having to blow on a cartridge to make it work. This is Antstream, and we're revolutionizing retro gaming.
Just like Netflix or Spotify, once you have the app installed, you can click and play any game instantly. It's streamed from the cloud, so there's nothing to download and no special hardware required.
The reactions have been amazing so far when you're talking about Antstream. The minute someone realises that they can play the games they love instantly in their own home on any device, it's just been brilliant to see how engaged people are and how much they want to get their hands on this product as soon as possible.
There wasn't really any delay or lag from the inputs.
I was trying some of the challenges in there and it got very, very competitive.
It's actually blown me away. The nostalgia hit that I got is incredible. I can see this doing great things.
Antstream. Join a community, join the future of retro gaming.
So I first realised there was a demand for something like Antstream about 4 years ago when I was at a mobile gaming conference. And people were queuing up for one game, but that wasn't mobile games, that was an old arcade cabinet in the corner. And I realised when I saw who was in the aisle, it wasn't just gamers over 30, it was gamers of all ages just getting really excited about these classic games. One of the great features of Antstream is the challenges system.
You can play against your friends, but you can also challenge them. You can take that globally and see how you're doing worldwide. You can keep an eye on what games they're playing and what achievements they've got over you, and I think that's adding a really good dynamic to bringing retro gaming to a new generation.
One thing that's really important was to create a legitimate service. I wanted to make sure that every time somebody is playing a game, the owner of that game is getting paid.
I'm really looking forward to playing games that I couldn't play when I was younger. Some of them were out before I was born, others I just didn't play because I wasn't allowed a console until I was PS2 era. So for me, it's going to be really good to get hands-on with stuff that I've heard people talk about but have never experienced myself.
Well, classic games of old were played on a variety of devices. The technology that Handstream has created has made them very user-friendly. So the fact that you can play on a touchscreen is just amazing.
We've already secured over 2,000 games. We have over 400 games ready to play from day one, and we'll be constantly adding new games and challenges on a weekly basis.
We all know that gamers love collectibles. All gamers like to have something to show how far they've progressed and what they've managed to achieve. Whether it's logging in from your first day to playing 100 games to completing a certain challenge, you're always going to have that log of just exactly what you've managed to achieve.
One of the things people worry about with cloud gaming is the latency. The latency is how long it takes from pressing a button to seeing the action happen on the screen. And that's something we've got really, really hard on to make sure we've got some of the lowest latency available in cloud gaming today.
The team here in the studio are absolutely amazing. They're so passionate about what they do. They love retro games and they love the fact that they can bring these retro games to an audience through these devices.
I love the fact that you can just you just load the app and you just play. There's no faff, it's just instant fun.
My favourite feature of Handstream is actually the challenges because it adds another dimension to the old classic games.
Definitely the challenges. It absolutely revolutionises the way you can play the games.
There's always new titles coming in to test and see how they handle on different platforms.
Working with the games that I loved when I was a kid and making them better.
When it comes to older games, I think there's a lot of stuff out there that it's a shame it's not being played, and it's just great to get it exposed to as many people as possible.
The wizardry that they do is far beyond anything I can understand, but watching it come to life is just the best experience because they are great at what they do.
Creating Handstream has been an amazing journey. I've got to travel to Japan, to America, all over the UK, and I've met some amazing people, including some veterans who've created some of the best games ever created. I've also got to build an amazing team and find people who are really passionate about retro and get them all together to create an amazing product.
Ultimately, this will be a one-stop shop for every game available on the planet, so what's not to like about that?
All right, as you just heard, they have quite ambitious plans for this. They have a monthly, I think. They definitely have a 6-month and then a year subscription service. If you back now, you can. I was actually watching the countdown for the early backer, and it went away.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you can get the full backer reward now for $57, which is a year subscription, as well as early access to Handstream, access to Kickstarter's backer Discord channel, founder title on Discord, and a founder title in the Handstream interface. So you get basically a sticker next to your name saying,
"Oh damn,
you're a founder." Going back to what they're asking for, they're looking for $65,275. They are pretty much exactly halfway there with $29,937 as we're recording, with 341 backers. They just launched, 29 days to go. And like I said, there's also a season backer with 6 months, which you can get for $37, and that just gives you Discord channel access and 6 months of the service. So I told you about the full backer. Let's go to the top tier. Okay, $1,548. Institution licenses. This reward we designed with museums, retro gaming associations, or other institutions interested in retro gaming in mind. Gives access to 5 accounts with a lifetime subscription to the Handstream retro gaming service. All the accounts will have the challenges available at launch unlocked for them. So lifetime subscriptions to Handstream retro gaming service times 5. Early access to Kickstarter backers Discord channel, VIP title on Discord, VIP title and Handstream. There's 25 left of 5. Honestly, if you were super into this and had a retro gaming club, I would pretend to be a museum, because 1,500 split 5 ways is what?
1,500 split what?
5 ways?
I have no idea.
Oh, come on, we can do math, can't we?
1,500 split 5 ways is $3,000.
No. You're multiplying by 2.
No, 1,500?
Yes, 1,500. $1,500.
Okay, 1,500. I was thinking of 15,000. Sorry.
Yeah.
1,500 split 5 ways. $300.
So So if a yearly subscription is looks like roughly $60 to $70, that would not be bad for a lifetime subscription for 5 buddies if you really thought this was going to be a thing. The thing is, though, like I said, there's tons of streaming services coming out. This does have the, I guess, spin of being retro, but we'll see how it does. Lots of others have come and gone, but Antstream is giving it a good shot. They do seem to have a lot of ideas, as you heard in the video, hopefully. And then, yeah, check it out if that's interesting to you. Let's talk about games we have been playing or not playing. So, this is not fair to our listeners. There's things happening that you can't talk about.
I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm getting all these messages right now.
All right, I'll talk about games I've been playing because we know you played Jackbox.
Yes, I played Jackbox Party Pack 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Holy crap! How long were you playing?
4 hours.
Jeez.
I get really I'm kind of bored with Jackbox. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, you've played it a lot.
Played it a lot.
You've played it more than it's supposed to be a party game, not like a game.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been playing some games. I played some more Zelda. I tried out the Master Sword trials.
Okay.
Holy shit, I'm not ready for that. Speaking of
I did one of them. I got the weird U-shaped sword thing now.
Okay. So you got through the whole beginnings. There's a beginner, a middle, and a.
Yeah, I got through the beginning part, I think.
Yeah, that was hard.
Where you they strip you naked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
We're talking about the game still, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I also played some more
Yoshi. So, anyways.
Yoshi Handcrafted Tale. That should be a $40 game. It's fun, but it should be a $40 game. I can't even express why, really. But
which game is this?
Yoshi's Handcrafted Tale. You need to borrow it over the weekend
really
or something.
Play it.
You should borrow it. It is really cool that you can go back into the stage and go through it backwards to look for pups. And I like the fact you can collect outfits, which give you extra hits basically. So you collect. There's these vending machines you can spend your coins on, and you'll get things that are in the level, like the pirate level. You get a little pirate ship, and Yoshi runs around the pirate ship. There's also some levels that have different. There's a minecart level. There's a level where you jump into this giant Yoshi mech made out of paper and stomp through the level. There's lots of variety, but it's all side-scrolling, and I don't know. It's cool. It just doesn't feel like a full $60 game.
That's lame.
Yeah.
It sucks, kind of.
Then I'm playing a game that I've played before, but on the Switch. Playing some Hob, and I'm loving it. It's great. They've made some quality and life improvements, little touches here and there. There's rumble, there's stuff like that, but there's interface things that have changed a little bit. The company that did, I think that brought Doom to the Switch, they're really good at porting games to the Switch. They handled this, and they did a really good job. So Runic Games doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, which
Plus they
sucks.
But they don't really handle ports anyway. Anyway, I'm here to tell you that this version is great so far.
Okay.
And loving Hob. I'm probably going to put up, if I have time, a short gameplay video of it, but I guess I'll have to do Feather first now. So, we got game releases, and since Zach is doing...
No, I finally have... I literally had 20 people that just messaged me, but I am back now. Sorry. In here somewhere...
There's one in here that really interests me.
There is something... Fucking shit.
You sure you can do this? I'll do it.
No, God, I'm fucking doing it, Tim. I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Look. 233, right? Hershey Squirts? Nope, that's not this one.
You can't even get to the right place. Okay, Shovel Knight. There's two games. There's two games coming out.
Here we go. Podcast Junkie. All right.
Do you even know what Shovel Knight is?
Shovel Knight is it's a roguelike.
Nope. It's an 8-bit style side-scrolling game, think like Mega Man.
Okay.
But you got a shovel instead of a gun.
So apparently there's King of Cards and Treasure Love coming out to
Trove.
Trove, whatever. Why is there 2 Shovel Knights going?
I don't know. Makes me want to look into it.
Weird. Zanki Zero Last Beginning.
That's
PC,
the dumbest
PS4.
name ever.
Dangerous
Last Beginning.
Driving, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. That's what Tim's doing when he leaves here. Shovel Knight Showdown, PC, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch. Another Shovel Knight coming to Nintendo Switch. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy HD, PS4, Xbox One, PC, Nintendo Switch. Corpse Party, Sweet Sachio Kiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash.
That's
PC.
a cool title.
It's a pretty cool title. I can't pronounce it, but it's a cool title. Earth Defense Force, Iron Rain.
Shoot bugs.
Yep. Weedcraft.
Smoke weed.
Yep, smoke weed. Vaporaim.
Vape weed.
Vape weed. Hellblade Sensuna Sacrifice. Nintendo Switch.
That's the one
pretty insane.
That's the one that intrigues me. It was a
Pretty
PlayStation
insane.
4 exclusive for a while.
Yeah.
It wasn't a huge like revelation that it come to Xbox One because it's like pretty much straight
Yeah.
across port. But this on Switch would be, wow, I don't know.
Just pretty insane.
That
Depression, suicide, everything you all wanted in a video game.
Yeah, darkness.
Killstreak.tv PC, Nintendo Labo Toy-Con 04 VR kit, Nintendo Switch.
I didn't realize their VR kit was coming out this soon.
I kind of want it now. Play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
You'll do it for like 10 minutes and put it away though.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. I
We
wonder how
should
much.
go in on it together.
We should see how much it is.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for this week. Don't forget to check us out at facebook.com/plugandplayshow, Twitter and Instagram at plugandplaycast, youtube.com/plugandplaygamer, and until next week, thebunsmashers.com. Don't forget to prime and